morning. We want to welcome you this morning to the Drainage District Board of Directors meeting for today, April the 5th, 2016. Present are Commissioner Cuellar, Precinct 1, Cantu, Precinct 2, Flores, Precinct 3, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in prayer.
Thank you, Judge. Let us pray. Father God, we give you thanks for another beautiful day that you've given us. Thank you for the opportunity to come serve you today, Lord. I continue to ask for wisdom for this board that you have appointed, Lord. Wisdom for myself, my staff, and all the leaders of the county, Lord, that we may do what's best in the interest of Hidalgo County, Lord. I ask this in your Son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, under open forum, we have one individual signing in, Mr. Josue Ramirez.
He's not here, Judge. He wasn't able to make it.
All right. Under our consent agenda, any concerns?
No, sir, not that I'm aware of.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 5.
Thank you, sir. Discussion in Hidalgo County Drainage District number 1 drainage projects, maintenance and operations. Just to brief the board, we're going to be presenting some of our bond projects at the City Commission meeting in McAllen, April 11th, 4 p.m. in a workshop forum. And we'll invite mainly Commissioner Cantu and the judge to be present if you like. It's a joint workshop, my understanding, with the PUB and the City Council, just to brief them on the projects that we're doing, which is the Mission Inlet project, recertification, the radar drain, which we've completed, and then also another project on the Fort McAllen improvements that we're doing for the drainage in that area. So they asked for an update, and we're going to be providing that information to the City of McAllen.
What day and time again?
It's April 11th at 4 p.m. It's a workshop. So we got a little PowerPoint simple presentation, just talk a little bit about the project itself and try to field any questions they may have. So.
By the way, a federal judge entered a settlement and approved a settlement on that BP case.
Oh, great.
He did it last night, so we ought to be hearing from them pretty quick. You may want to follow up.
Yes, sir. We'll definitely start looking at that, sir. Thank you. And that's all I have for today.
Item number 6.
Thank you. Request approval of budget amendment for the District General Fund in the amount of $150,000 for right-of-way acquisitions in the Hidalgo County Drainage Precinct 2 Hike and Bike Trail as per interlocal dated July 8, 2015. This is for the Linear Park Precinct 2 that we're working on.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 7, request approval to issue payment for application payment number 2 in the amount of $255,832.47 to Texas Cordia Construction LLC, related to construction contract number ACDD 11500908004A, Precinct 4, Hohen Road Area Drainage and Road Improvement. Project Engineer Dos Logistics. Everything's in order for payment.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And we do have some items on closed session.
At this time, pursuant to sections 551, 071, and 072, need a motion to proceed to executive session.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We'll be in executive for a short while. All right, we apologize for the delay, and we are now back in open session on our Drainage District Board meeting.
Judge, we'll proceed as directed on on the items discussed in executive session on the real estate and litigation. Thank you.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. At this time, we're going to be convening our regular meeting of the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court for today, April the 5th, 2016. Present are Commissioner Cuellar, Precinct 1, Cantu, Precinct 2, Flores, Precinct 3, and myself. We have a quorum. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Almighty God, we come together today for the good of the citizens of Hidalgo County. Give us your wisdom as we make decisions that will affect them today and in the years to come. Help us to work well together, recognizing that each of us are here because we want what is best for Hidalgo County. We ask for your blessing and your guidance. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
We would request that you join us and remain standing for a moment of silence in memory of Commissioner Joseph Palacios' sister-in-law, a young lady named Christy Winnie, who passed away. We also unfortunately have another individual, the sister of Edinburgh School Board member Robert Pena, the young lady named Gina Pena. We also had another individual pass away, another public servant, Mr. Jesus Chuy Avendaño, member of the La Joya Independent School District Board of Trustees.
Judge, we also have a family from far, the Carrillos, who lost a brother today. Prayers to them.
Thank you. Please be seated. All right. Any concerns with the consent agenda?
There is one concern, Judge, under the consent agenda. And so I'm asking the court to take out, it's actually a point of information. If we could...
Let's just give the number and then we can go.
Okay, so 6A.
Move for approval without 6A.
Right. Under consent agenda? I'm sorry, that's right, under consent agenda, 6A, 11M1, and 11M3.
Move for approval without 6A, 11M1, 11M3.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
So with respect to 6A, just as a point of information, the payer account for M7003.01 000.0060.00 is Core Logic and not Bank of America. We could have a motion to that effect.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Marty?
On 11M1 and 11M3, these are renewals. Just as a point myself to the auditor's office, we do place, and on my response, I show them where we do say that it's subject to 1295. We also show either the email or the letter to the vendor that we cannot, sign the contract unless 1295 is adhered to. So I do recommend subject to compliance. I just don't see the need for it to be as a concern when the evidence is there. The effort is there, and it is subject to 1295 anyway.
That's your recommendation, right?
On both items.
That'll be our motion.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. This time we would move on to item number 5A. We have a resolution in honor of a County Court at Law number 2 bailiff and interpreter, Mr. Hector Diaz, whom is going to be celebrating his retirement after 26 years of service to our county.
Judge, Commissioners, and joining us as County Court at Law number 2 Judge Jaime J. Palacios, his court coordinator Maria Elena Banning, and Assistant Court Coordinator Rhonda Lee Cruz, of course, here with in honor of Mr. Hector Diaz. Please, come on up. Come on up. Whereas Mr. Hector Diaz is being honored for his exceptional work and dedication to the County of Hidalgo after serving with distinction and integrity for the past 26 years at the County Courthouse. And whereas Mr. Diaz was born in McAllen in 1955 and raised in the small town of Tierra Blanca, located between Benitas and La Joya. A graduate of Shareland High School, Mr. Diaz went on to earn a Bachelor's of Science degree from Texas A&M University. And whereas in 1990, Mr. Diaz left his job with the U.S. Department of Agriculture to become the bailiff and interpreter for then County Court at Law Number 4 Judge Leticia Hinojosa. And whereas during his career with the county, Mr. Diaz also worked as a bailiff for Judge Fred Garza, and for the last 10 years, he has worked under County Court at Law Number 2 Judge Jaime J. Palacios. And where Mr. Diaz looks forward to spending more time with his family, including his son Hector Thomas. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby recognizes and honors Hector Diaz for his outstanding service, dedication, and commitment during his 26 years of service to the community and to the citizens of Hidalgo County, and on this day wishes him a long, healthy, and fruitful retirement, dated this 5th day of April, 2016.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Morning, Judge.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Thank you for the honor of honoring Hector this morning. Commissioner Flores, if you need a night watchman now, no, he's in that part of Sullivan City, so he can. And also, I don't see Ms. Townsend here, but I think he can be a great volunteer for that organization. Hector, thank you for your service to this county. More importantly, the last 10 years to this court. We wish you the best, great health, and many good times at the ranch. And thank you for your service, especially to the team, Ms. Banning, Rhonda Lee, and Katie, who's not able to be with us this morning. We wish you the best.
It's really my family that I have, and they're very close to me, and I just want to thank you all for recognizing me today, and especially my family being here with me. Thank you all.
Thank you. Good luck.
Sure.
You can come and get a picture.
Watch your step.
Beside the Commissioner Cuellar, just to right here, here's good. And you can stand right against her. And then you two on the side, just a little bit closer. There you go. Okay, I'm going to count down. Ready?
Good luck to you, Hector.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. Do you have English on all the commissioners? Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Good luck and enjoy it, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for your service.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. Judge. And now we move on to item number 17A, so we can talk a little bit about our local March Madness. We have a proclamation in honor of the Robert Vela basketball team.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Jesse Osuna for Hidalgo County Precinct 4. Commissioner wanted to be here himself to present this resolution, but some stuff happened. So it's with great pleasure that our office, our staff, would like to recognize the varsity boys basketball team. If y'all can please come up. I know their coach, Lalo Rios, is here. Their principal's here. Y'all can just, somewhere right here for right now, and then we'll get a picture here in a little bit. I know there's they're not the smallest of people, but we'll fit them in somewhere. Just face this way, please.
You all can move this way, squeeze it just a little to the left. Guys in the back. In the back, please move out this way. Is that over here?
Chris, keep going, Chris. Keep going, Chris.
All right, I think we're close to being ready. These boys did the Valley proud, not just the city of Edinburgh, but the entire Valley, hitting a monumental distance in the UIL, qualifying for the boys basketball Region 4, I believe it was. Is that correct, Coach? Region 4 champs, and then they went into the Final Four. I was fortunate to be able to go out to their playoff games, all of them, and I'll tell you what, they're resilient and they're fast, but they never lost hope and they never lost their team focus. So we want to congratulate you guys. Know that you are appreciated here and what you all did and how you all represented the Valley. So Lisbeth from our office, Judge, if with your permission, if she could read the resolution.
Yes, please.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. For the record, item 17A is a resolution, not proclamation. With us today, we have the Robert Vela varsity basketball team. If they can, go ahead. Yeah. So as I read the resolution, they'll start lining up. Whereas Robert Vela, the SaberCats varsity basketball team, reached the UIL state semifinals after winning 17 consecutive games in the 5A division, and whereas composed of 16 coaches and 16 players, the varsity basketball team went on to win a total of 35 games this season. The semifinal competition marked a historical achievement for the 4-year-old school. Whereas the team is comprised of seniors, guard Jacob Morin, forward Alex Cisneros, guard Hector Reese, guard John Paul Rodriguez, forward Michael Garcia, forward Robert Arevalo, center Luis Salinas, junior guard Carlos Azubel, point guard Ryan Garza, point guard Chris Ochoa, guard Alec de la Cruz, guard Enrique Redondo, guard Trey Chavana, center Vincent Olivares, and center Noah Seckinger. Did I say that correctly? Okay. Whereas head coach Lalo Rios, managers Sam Uresti, and principal Sylvia Ledesma spent countless hours mentoring and training the team in preparation for the journey through this year's victorious basketball season. And whereas these young athletes have displayed incredible discipline, determination, and success, bringing great pride to the families, school, city, Hidalgo County, and the sport of basketball. And whereas the SaberCats finished #1 in the district, they went on to become district champions, by-district champions, area champions, regional quarterfinal champions, Region 4 champions, and finished the season as Division 5A, Region 4 state semifinalist. So if you can all join me in a great hand of applause. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby honors the Robert Vela High School SaberCats for their teamwork, dedication, and sportsmanship, and congratulates them on their victorious season. Congratulations.
Move for approval.
Second. All those in favor say aye. 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 Motion carries.
Yes. Yes.
We're going to have the commissioners move to the center, and if you all can move to the side, some of you can stand up on the ledge.
Pelona.
And if the front row wants to get on their knees, so they can if you want the front row to swell, get on your knees. You want to get on your Hey, come on, guys. Pretend you're asking to the prom. All right, can I move you just to the left? What time is it? Take time.
Can you see Commissioner?
Okay, right here. Yes, right here. I'll have to the right. Right. Smile, guys. Your chance. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Take a few more. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold on for Elizabeth now. Ready? 1, 2.
guy should be in shape.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Congratulations.
Congrats. Coach, I don't know.
The team that beat Edinburgh won it all, okay? So we're very proud of them because they lost to the team that won the championship. Is this correct?
Yes, sir. That is
Now, the other thing is Brian Garza. Where's Brian Garza?
Ryan.
Yeah. He's on a class by himself, let me tell you that. Not taking away anything away from the coaches, but you did real good this year, son.
We'd like to thank our sports commentator, Mingo. He's got all the stats. Coach and Principal, I don't know if y'all would like to say a few words. Coach Rios, if you'd like to say a few words.
Congratulations.
Judge, thank you very much again. Commissioners, thank you for this wonderful honor. We've received tremendous amount of support throughout the course of the season, and these kids, I truly can't begin to tell you how proud we are of them for what they've accomplished this year. This team has the potential to go down as one of the greatest to ever come out of the Rio Grande Valley, and more importantly of Edinburgh. So my hat's off to them. I know our principal is very ecstatic about this team and what they've accomplished this year. And again, we couldn't be any prouder of what they've done this year. So thank you very much for this honor.
We are very proud of our SaberCats. Not only have they done very, very well in basketball, but these young men are very intelligent. They do very well in academics, and they are also very respectful. So these are fine young men that are coming out of Robert Villa High School, and we are very proud of them. So congratulations, SaberCats.
Thank you. Joe plays poker when they tell it.
And Mingo. Can everybody zoom in here?
All right, moving on to item number 5B.
Good morning again. Joining us is Diana Almaguer, who's the executive director, right here, who's the executive director of CASA, and she's joined by some of her staff, court-appointed volunteers, the special advocates, and some CPS staff as well, and some protective, some of the children's protectors. If you guys want to come up too. When the children are frightened, these guys pull up their motorcycles in front of the place and to scare off the people that are hurting them. So this proclamation declaring April 2016 as Child Abuse Awareness Month. Whereas child abuse prevention is a community responsibility and finding solutions depends on involvement among all people. And whereas last year there were 66,572 victims of child abuse and neglect in this state. And whereas in Hidalgo County there were 2,144 confirmed cases of child abuse and neglect last year. 8 were fatalities. 8 children were killed as a result of child abuse and neglect. And whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs that benefit children and their families. And whereas effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships among agencies, schools, religious organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community. And whereas everyone in the community should become more aware of child abuse prevention and consider helping parents raise their children in a safe and nurturing environment. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court does hereby proclaim the month of April 2016 as Child Abuse Awareness and Prevention Month in Hidalgo County, Texas, and urges all citizens to work together to help reduce child abuse and neglect and take care of our children significantly in the years to come. Approve this 5th day of April 2016.
Approve. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Hope you all are doing well this morning. Thank you for allowing us to be here this morning and proclaiming April is Child Abuse Awareness Month. With me, like you mentioned before, I have CPS staff, I have my own staff, CASA staff, and we have our court-appointed special advocate volunteers, Bikers Against Child Abuse. All these individuals wake up every morning and make sure to go out there and protect the young citizens of Hidalgo County. Some of these individuals, like she mentioned, park their motorcycles, not bicycles, sorry, their motorcycles outside of the children's homes to ensure that these children do not fear the perpetrator coming into their home. They go with them to court as well to ensure that these kids feel safe when the perpetrator's in the courtroom. We have Child Protective Services staff that work in the middle of the night, get up and go out and make sure that these children are safe. We have our own court-appointed special advocates who receive no pay whatsoever for their services, and they go out and see these children and advocate for them in the court system and speak for the best interests of these children. She mentioned there was 8 child deaths last year. That's 8 too many, 1 is too many. So we're holding our 19th annual Candlelight Vigil next Thursday. We invite the community to be out there. We're going to walk from Casa Hidalgo at 5:45, proceed to the front lawn of the Hidalgo County Courthouse, and immediately after the vigil will start. We would love to be in the business where we would go out of business in the years to come, and we wish that these organizations would no longer have to exist, but we have to. And with the community involvement, with these type of individuals working for these children, we hope to make a difference. And like I said, one day not be in existence anymore, but until then, we all have to come together and make sure that we speak for the best interests of these children who are in Hidalgo County. And like I said, 8 child deaths is too many. So let's all come together, and we invite everybody in the community to go out there and join us. And remember these 8 children who lost their lives, all under the age of 2 years old. Thank you very much for allowing us this morning, and we'll see you hopefully on Thursday out there in front of the courthouse.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you. And now the group. And we're going to split you up, but you saw with the young. Just make sure not to block the no, but you want to switch. Like 3 of you to go to the next.
So this is what it's like.
Count it out. Ready? 1, 2, 3. A few more. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for what you do. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate everything you do. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here.
Next, we have item number 5C, a proclamation in honor of Head Start's Week of the Young Child celebration.
Don't you agree that our Head Start children behave so well all through the meetings? Our proclamation. Whereas the Week of the Young Child is an annual celebration sponsored by the National Association of Education of Young Children, the world's largest early childhood education association, with nearly 90,000 members, a network of over 300 local, state, and regional affiliates. And whereas the purpose of the Week of the Young Child is to focus public attention on the needs of young children and their families, to recognize the early childhood programs and services that meet those needs. And whereas the Hidalgo County Head Start program, under the leadership of Commissioners Court and the Policy Council, provides quality services to 3,690 children between the ages of 3 and 5 from the neediest families in Hidalgo County. These services are in the area of education, health, dental health, mental health, nutrition, special and social services. And whereas this year's theme of the Week of the Young Child is Our Hero Stories Books Come Alive, which will focus on all the storybook and animated characters that children have grown to love and read about in the classrooms and at home. And whereas the celebration will take place at the Jose Pepe Salinas Civic Center in FAR and will feature games, activities, reading time, and arts and crafts. In addition, each day will end with a large parade. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby declares April the 11th through April the 14th, 2016, the Week of the Young Child in Hidalgo County, and urges all citizens to work together to help provide children with the support they need to develop skills, confidence, inner strength, and the will to make their dreams come true. Dated this 5th day of April the 2016. And we really appreciate you giving us this opportunity to promote the Week of the Young Child. We invite you. Our parade starts at 9:45 each day, next week, 4 days. And they were ready to say the pledge when we came in, but I guess we got mixed up with the communication. But we do have some very talented children. These are children from Palmview 3, and their teacher is Iris Gutierrez, the assistant teacher, Elizabeth Gutierrez, the center manager, Ana Cedillo, and we have our bus driver, Jose Zamora, who came with us. Our Week of the Young Child is under the leadership of Sylvia Garza, and Sylvia Garza has worked with this program for many years, and we really would like to invite you. You will be so impressed to see 1,200 children at a time behave very, very well. But you can participate, you can read to the kids, and so we thank you for this opportunity to promote the Week of the Young Child.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
The proclamation.
All right, everyone. Children, look over here. Smile. 1, 2, 3, smile, everyone. One more. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. Judge, I don't know if we're able to do the rest of the items with the agenda, or we wait for the rest of it later.
What number are you?
14.
We're 14.
All right, let's go ahead
And do them? Okay. Under item 14A, discussion approval to advertise, including approval of specifications as attached hereto for sealed bids for air conditioning, maintenance, and repair services.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
B, discussion approval to award land space as attached hereto for sealed bids on lease and land space for the following area: land space in Mission, RFQ number 2016-001-02-26.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Letter C, discussion approval of revised priority rankings for enrollment for program year 2016-2017. This responds to a federal requirement to have those approved by Commissioners Court and Policy Council.
For approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
E is presentation of the Blue Ribbon Centers. We have a self-assessment, and every year we recognize the 10 best centers in our area. And this year, I'm proud to announce Weslaco 1 under Natalia Salas, Center Manager; McAllen 5 under Cidelia Monteagudo; San Carlos under Irma Gonzalez; Progreso under Marisela Infante; La Estancia under Olga Rubio; La Herencia under Olga Rubio; Mercedes 1 under Veronica Zamora; Edinburgh 2 under Maria Gutierrez; UTRGV in Edinburgh also, Maria D. Gutierrez; and finally, McAllen 6 under Alma Cepeda. All Blue Ribbon Centers celebrate a level of excellence in the performance of their duties and the delivery of services, and so we acknowledge them every year. We select 10. I just wanted to present that to you. There's no action needed. On the next item, F, the approval for the plan for Monte Alto Center. No action is required. We're proceeding to continue to remain open at Monte Alto. We had some consideration of doing something differently at this time. No action is needed. Under G, the discussion approval of a plan for disposition of the Granjeno building. The Granjeno building has been unoccupied for a number of years. When we did not occupy it, we only had like 2 or 3 children from the Granjeno, and so therefore it was not, of course, cost effective, but more importantly, we would have to be transporting kids from other parts, and it was very costly. And even given at this day and time with our shortages in bus drivers, it's something that we quit using as a center for all those years. It is on private property. We pay rent. And so there is a provision under the Office of Head Start where we can dispose of these buildings after 15 years that have a federal interest. And so we're proposing to ask permission to proceed to dispose of the building, either sell it or find somebody who will move it or see how it is that we can deal with it. But we are in the process of wanting to submit that letter of request to the Office of Head Start. And we will come with other buildings that we might have similar kinds of situations with if we're not using them. Okay?
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
H is discussion approval on a plan for Mission 1. Mission 1 is the oldest center in Mission. We had already proceeded from the standpoint of taking action by the Policy Council to shut it down. It had roofs that are no longer repairable. But after visiting with the city manager in Mission and talking to the mayor, there seems to be a glimmer of hope that they may be able to fix the building, and so they don't really want us to move out. So no action is needed in that one either.
This is the one on Mayberry Road?
Yes, yes. So no action is needed at this time. And then letter I, the Week of the Young Child. That's just to announce the dates for you in terms of your desire to attend and be with us. J is discussion to advertise and approval of statement of qualifications, requirements, scope, and services for the following: medical, dental providers, mental health providers, sign language interpreters providers. So we wanted to have that approved to advertise.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay.
To clarify, item B, this is a request for bid, not a RFQ.
I'm sorry. The nature of the action on B, it's a request for bids and not an RFQ in terms of land space. Okay? So if that can be amended to say that.
And do we have to move anything, Steve? Clarify that.
You wanted to do what now? What
It's
item
a
did you want to
request
correct?
for a bid and not a request for qualifications under B.
B.
It's an RFB instead of an RFQ.
For corrections.
A correction.
For 14B.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate being able to take care of this.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
And
you.
you're welcome to come next week. Oh, by the way, we do have our program officers from the Office of Head Start visiting tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, and we are meeting with a judge. Any of you who would like to be present at 1:30 on Thursday. So we'll be over with the judge and the Policy Council chairperson. I'm sorry. Oh, oops, I skipped one more. Discussion and approval letter D of the Hidalgo County Head Start Program Self-Assessment Report. That does require your action. Every year we do the self-assessment. I mentioned the Blue Ribbon centers. Those are as a result of having done the self-assessment. We
That
need
was
your
for which
approval.
one?
D.
D.
Yes, I'm sorry.
You need action for that.
Yes,
Move
I
for
do.
approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, I was trying to hurry. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Judge,
Deja el voz.
Judge Commissioner, Judge Commissioners,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask, for the sake of the tax office, also to inform the court as well as the constituency about what happened yesterday with the system going down. There's an item 8 under HR. There's 3 departments, and one of them is the tax office. That way, we can also give the representative from tax office to inform everyone that yesterday's outage, for lack of using a better word, of tax services was as a result of a state issue with their system, if I'm not mistaken. Not so much the county. They were working through it. So if the court is amenable, I'd like to take item 8 for the HR, and that way we can get to the tax office and they can
Eight
also.
what?
Well, we can do eight A and B and C. 8A and B should take no more than a minute or so. It's straightforward.
You want to proceed? Okay. Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Raul Salguero, Executive Office, presenting for HR. Item 8A is Precinct 1, Sanitation, Parks, Administration, and Road Maintenance. Those are the different fund categories. Discussion, consideration, approval to change titles to various positions as attached, listed in Attachment A, effective next full pay period. Judge Commissioners, there's a list of, attached of 30 positions where the Commissioner is correcting titles that were mistitled. The jobs were mistitled, and it's no change in salary, no change in duties. Nothing is changing except the title is correctly matched to the job. There's 30 positions, and the Commission has been trying to do this over the last few years, and it's so we request approval.
Move for approval.
On 8A1, 2.
No, not 2.
Not 2? Okay, just 1.
And thank you for taking care of that.
Yes, sir.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 8A2 is approval to revise the salary schedule in accordance with the Commissioners Court action.
Approval.
There's a question. You said there'd be no change in salary.
No change in salary, no change in
Then why are we
duties,
revising salary schedule?
because the salary schedule has the titles.
Oh, okay.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
We approved 2, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Item 8B is Precinct 3, Road Maintenance. This is discussion, consideration, approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. Commissioner Flores is asking to delete position, Assistant Field Operations Director, with the salary as listed. It's over 60-something thousand, and create an Equipment Operator 2 at a salary of 32,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 2 on that item is approval to revise the salary schedule in accordance with the Commissioner's Court action.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 8C is for the tax office, the SCOFLA program. First, we request waiver of the budget amendment policy because this is a general fund personnel-related amendments.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And C2 is discussion, consideration, approval of the following personnel action effective next full pay period. The tax office is requesting that there is a position budgeted at 40,000 compliance, SCOFLA compliance specialist. They're requesting to reduce the salary to 38.5. The person is not being reduced in salary. The position is budgeted at more, and then the auto allowance to that position of $1,500. It's a wash. The total amount is still $40,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And the next item on that same item is just an adding of a auto allowance, slot 0139. Deputy Clerk 3, the requesting auto allowance increase of, or an addition of an auto allowance of $1,500. And the auditor has a concern on that. Basically, we're asking for approval subject to the transfer of the funds and the completion of a auto allowance form that were not done.
Second. Right.
Right. That'll be my motion, what you just told me.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 3 is approval of the interdepartment transfer.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those need a second.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 4 is approval to revise the salary schedule in accordance with Commissioner's Court action.
Move for approval.
Second.
And I think Valde then
Those
wanted
in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Right.
the tax office.
Yes, I was going to ask Mr. Castilleja, just a quick
Thank you, Judge Commissioner.
update on what occurred yesterday, because we did get some calls at our office. I know that Mr. Castilleja's office had calls, and I believe some of the court members also had some calls. Mr. Castilleja?
Hello, Commissioners. Good morning. Good morning, Judge. I apologize for Mr. Villarreal is unable to be here. He's at a training out of town. He is aware of the situation that happened yesterday. It was a statewide issue. Forgot to mention I have Mr. Willie Palacios, our office accountant, here with me as well. It affected all 254 counties. There was numerous constituents upset, and I apologize for that situation. But we are at the mercy of the state here when it comes to the registration and title systems. I believe there was inquiries about workarounds or alternatives to when the system is down. It becomes really complicated with our accounting department to ensure that the customer is getting the correct date and the correct receipt. And that's how this all started. The receipts were printed out with the incorrect dates, incorrect customers' information, and the state asked us to go ahead and put a halt to that system.
Everything back to normal?
Yes, sir. This morning everything seems to be fine, but it does go down from time to time, and we do have to stop services.
Right. And Judge Commissioner, I think the overall there are certain things that are beyond our control. This was a state issue. It did affect all the other counties as well. But again, so that there was an update or is an update, and courts informed, and importantly, that the constituency know that this was an issue that was being addressed by Mr. Vidal's office. But again, there are certain things that were beyond our control, given that this is a state system and there was state processes that needed to be followed.
Absolutely.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Commissioner.
Thank you. All right, let's move back. Oh, Eddie.
No, it's okay.
You want to go, well, go ahead, Eddie, you're there. Item
Yeah.
number 9.
Yes, sir. I apologize. Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Eddie Olivares, Hidalgo County Health and Human Services. On item 9A, sir, with your permission, I'd like to call Dr. Saladin to come forward and his team. This item, sir, is requesting approval of agreement between the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley College of Health Affairs and Hidalgo County. The purpose of the agreement is to improve primary health care access to families of the Rio Grande Valley. Let me just explain this. This is a program that UTRGV obtained a grant to provide services across the valley, but they're primarily looking at a clinic that we have in McAllen for us to provide space to provide some services through their College of Health Affairs and their graduate nursing program for their Masters in Nursing, and they will be providing access to some care. I know there's been some questions in regards to liability, insurances, and things like that. I'm going to have Dr. Celadon. He's the Associate Dean for Graduate Studies for the College of Health Affairs. He's going to give a brief overview. Hopefully it'll answer several of the questions you may have. But really, this has been reviewed by council. The only thing we're providing is space. They're providing everything else, the equipment, their internet, their medical records, their malpractice. Everything is being provided by the university. It's just getting access to some folks who need some health care. And I'll let Dr. Sheldon read his topic.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Well, everybody's getting ready there. It's we're honored to be collaborating with Hidalgo County Health Department in the Department of, we are honored to be collaborating with the Hidalgo Health Department in the development of this project, the UTRGV Community Primary Care Clinic. The purpose of this project is to create an interprofessional practice model in the rural areas of Hidalgo County along the Texas-Mexico border. The project is a 3-year project funded at a cost of $1.5 million to provide primary care services to substantially rural populations and reach substantially underserved populations. These individuals who have limited or no access to care, individuals in these impoverished areas such as the colonias. It's be funded by the Health Resource and Services Administration, HRSA. The proposed project represents an interprofessional education collaborative effort between Hispanic Serving Institution and the local health department, the College of Health Affairs at the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. We are excited about this partnership with the Hidalgo County Department of Health and Human Services to create the UTRGV Community Primary Care Clinic. We especially want to thank Mr. Eddie Olivares and Ms. Connie Sanchez for their leadership in making this clinic a reality. The UTRGV College of Health Affairs team will work closely with the staff of Hidalgo County to meet the professional health needs of the rural communities in a largely Hispanically medically underserved area. Hidalgo County Department of Health and Human Services is a major community partner in the development and implementation of this project and will work within our teams to provide positive outcomes and referrals for patients seen in the clinic. Faculty and students will utilize the clinics in McAllen and the mobile clinic if available, or provide health assessment through community fairs to
expand and extend services to rural communities in the Hidalgo County, such as Hargill, Edcouch, La Mexicana, and La Milpas. The goal of the projects are to, 1, strengthen nursing capacity to advance the health of clients, patients, and communities through the development of innovative practice models composed of collaborative interprofessional teams of nurses and health professions. 2, promote a practice environment in which emergent nurse leaders can demonstrate leadership skills while working collaboratively with high-functioning, diverse professionals. 3, develop an innovative and collaborative practice model that achieves positive health outcomes. And 4, enhances an awareness and appreciation of knowledge, skills, and framework used in each other's professional, health, and educational disciplines. The Department of Nursing, a discipline within the College of Health Affairs, will collaborate with the other inter-college professional disciplines to comprise the interprofessional teams. The disciplines include clinical laboratory sciences, communication sciences, disorders, dietetics, occupational therapy, pharmacy, physician assistant studies, rehabilitation counseling, and social work. In addition, the department, well, it's really the School of Nursing, will draw on resources outside College of Health Affairs, such as medical Spanish program that will provide expanded opportunities for nursing students to refine their Spanish language skills and cultural competence. All disciplines will be involved in providing collaborative, interprofessional, interdisciplinary planning and leadership skills for the community outreach program. Although each discipline will contribute students to the team, the main discipline directly supporting primary care will be nursing. Then there's PA studies and pharmacy. Community leaders and promotores and promotoras de salud will also be involved in the aspects of community outreach programs and the planning process. The services provided will include primary care, disease diagnosis and management, and health education, data collection, interpretation, and research. And I'd like to reiterate what Mr. Olivares said, that this has been vetted by both legal teams, and we have our own liability insurance. And it's an excellent opportunity to train the leaders in the nursing field to take this to the next level. We have with us. They will introduce themselves, or get you introduce them? Okay. Well, Dr. Carolina Huerta, she's the interim director of the School of Nursing. We just changed the School of Nursing, so it used to be a Department of Nursing, now it's a School of Nursing, so we don't have a chair anymore, now we have directors. And the PI, Dr. Mary Diaz, is here. And on the other side, Assistant Dean Ernesto Tusa, he's been heavily involved, and Associate Dean Dr. Mata. And that's about all I can see from around me. So if you have any questions, I'll turn it over. But I do want to say thank you to Mr. Olivares and the Hidalgo County Health Department for not just this, but they've been working with us for years. I've been around since 2005 when I moved to this great county. I'm proud to be a citizen of this county, by the way. But
Thanks.
Take it over.
Thanks. Judge, Commissioners, I know there are some questions in regards to this, but I think the main thing, the main effort, the issue is, one of the things when I spoke to Steve, one of the things I spoke to Victor, they have their own internet access, they have their own medical records, they have their own liability, they have their own supervision. Everything is separate from the county. The only thing is we're offering a clinic space that's going to be available a couple of times a week for them to provide services to people in need. That's the whole project of this. And the bottom line, that's what it comes down to. And this is we are not involved with primary care. That's not our role. We're involved with preventative care, but this is an opportunity that may be available to our residents of our community. And it's up to your discretion and your direction.
Motion to approve.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you very much. There's a photo, please, if you can take a photo.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Doctor. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank you
for your patience.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you for what you did.
Thanks very much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Can I get everyone on this side to just squeeze to the right just a tiny bit? A little bit right, right hand to Rachel? To my right here then. Sorry. There you go. Thank you. And bring in the t-shirt to your left. Right. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more. Thank you. Don't move.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your patience. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you very much, Judge Commissioners. Item 9B is in Bravo. Discuss action and updating Commissioners Court on regarding potential arboviral or mosquito response in the event of an outbreak due to increased mosquito activity. Sir, as of Friday of last week, the Center for Disease Control and the World Health Organization has put it on high alert in dealing with the Zika situation. It has been confirmed that there is a link between microcephaly and Zika. That was still up in the air. So I'm asking, just to letting you know, sir, that we're going to be sending letters of request of support from each of the precincts, the drainage district, that all efforts in dealing with removing standing water or increasing the drainage capacities in the event of a rain incident or this coming hurricane season is that we need to be prepared and ready to deal with this situation, because if it does impact us, just a matter of time before it gets here. So any support we could get to prevent mosquito-borne environments to cause an illness, it'll be helpful and thankful. I'll be thankful to all the precincts and the drainage districts to assist with that.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 9C is requesting consideration and approval to terminate a memorandum of agreement between Hidalgo County and the University of Texas Health Science Center at San Antonio pursuant to Section 5, termination clause in the agreement. And this is regards to a research grant that's taking place between UTESCA and our TB program. In the agreement, it names the name of the physician and the partnership with the Department of State Health Services. The physician has retired and is no longer involved with the Department of State Health Services, so therefore the agreement is no longer valid because the person is not there no more. So this is just a housekeeping thing that we need to go ahead and just clean this up. And if they may come back with a new agreement, we'll look at it at that time.
Motion approved.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And C2 is requesting consideration and approval granting authority to Eduardo Olivares, Chief Administrative Officer of Hidalgo County Health and Human Services, to sign and send the termination notice.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries.
Item D is requesting approval to accept the CPS Hazards Grant Contract Amendment 2016-001134-01 in the amount of $574,166. The purpose of the amendment is to amend certain contractual language as set forth in the contract.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
So moving to item E, which is Healthcare Funding District E1, is discussion and consideration to approve the drawdown funds for the demonstration year 5 UC payment, uncompensated care payment, and the amount to be determined by Health and Human Service Commission and instructions on 4/1. The amount for this drawdown will be $8,883,995.24. That is in accordance to the instructions given by the state of Texas, sir.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries.
And just to inform the Commissioners Court, the commitment made by Hidalgo County, the $5.5 million as part of our annual budget, that was already drawn down back in January. So our commitment to this has already been met. This is strictly the hospital funding that we collect from the hospitals. Item E 1B is in Bravo, no action in accordance to the auditor's request that certification of revenue, since its money is already in place, they said to remove that. There's no action to be taken on that. Item E1C is approval of the 2016 appropriation of funds for the LPPF and the amount to be determined, which is the $8,883,995.24 as instructed on 4/116. So I think we need to have, I think the option, Steve, the way I read it, the action pretty much covered everything, or they need to take action on item C?
I don't think it'll hurt anything to take action.
Okay.
For approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item E2, and there's no action unless there's any questions. And on item F, Indigent Health Care Program, there is no action or items unless there's any questions. Thank you very much, Commissioner Judge. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Let's move back to item number 5D, is David.
Morning, Judge Commissioners. Michael Leo, County Judge's Office, Economic Development. 5D is the order approving amended and restated interlocal agreement as to McAllen TERS number 1, the Tres Lagos TERS. Back on December 15th, the court actually already approved this amendment. The purpose at the time was to shift 10% of the county's contribution to go towards the commitment for the A&M campus, which would allow the bonds to be sold as non-taxable. This doesn't change or affect the county's prior commitment. Everything stays the same. It's just that at the time there was an exhibit that was still being worked out between the city and the developer, which we didn't have. Now we have the complete exhibits with the agreement, so in working with legal, we're just bringing back as a formality for the court to approve.
The only comment I want to make on that is technically that exhibit that was not in there, this is now adding that exhibit to that, and so this will be another approval of that agreement.
All right. We have a motion in a second.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay. 5E is authorization to submit letter to TxDOT regarding the closure of Klausner Boulevard within the courthouse square. It's just a letter to authorize the county judge to send notice to TxDOT expressing our support of the closure as it relates to the courthouse project. It's not an official request. It doesn't mean the closure will happen. This is just to start the dialogue and the discussions with TxDOT, with the city of Edinburgh, and eventually with the civil engineer that will be brought on by the county.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 6, our DA's office.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, County Judge. I'm here to present 6A under the District Attorney's Office, DA Border Prosecution Unit Grant BPU Fund 1281. We're asking for the approval of the resolution for the Border Prosecution Unit Grant to designate County Judge as the grantee's authorized official and to sign documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 7, Sheriff's Office.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning, sir.
7A, authorization approved to submit a state administrative agency extension request, forming request to Operation Stone Garden fiscal year 2014, and authorization for county judge as the authorized official to sign required document.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B1, approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor for the 2016 LEOs allocation payment of $40,364.38 received from the State Comptroller of Public Accounts.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B2, approval of budget amendment to appropriate the 2016 LEOs allocation in the amount of $40,364.38.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item 10, our Fire Marshal.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning, sir.
The presentation today is the request to approval of the amendment to the following 2016 Rural Emergency Services interlocal agreements with the City of Alamo, the City of Alton, the City of Elsa, the City of La Joya, the City of Linza Manuel, the City of McAllen, the City of Monte Alto, and on number 8, the City of Westerville, we're going to be asking for no action. We're going to go ahead and bring it back later date.
Move for approval without eight.
Thank you, guys.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 11, our Community Service Agency.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Jaime Longoria with Community Service Agency. With me today we have Dora Rangel, Linda Ramirez, and Mari Gallegos. They're my supervisory team. The item is discussion, consideration, and grant possible authorization to accept recommendation from the Hidalgo County Community Service Agency Advisory Board to adopt the following changes to the Comprehensive Energy Assistance Program Service Delivery Plan. Number 1, adopt a 2-3 payment service delivery model. Judge, Commissioners, I wanted to bring your attention up to the presentation that I have before you. I wanted to walk you all through, there's some significant changes to the service delivery plan. I've got about 8 slides that I wanted to share with you all to kind of describe. I want to slow the program down a little bit. This year is a little bit of a watershed year for us because we're going to be about $1 million. We're going to receive about $1 million less from the state of Texas because we were so good at what we did last year. There is no unexpended balance money for us this year to look forward to. Every year, our agency would receive about $1 million that was reallocated from the previous year's money that was collected statewide. This year, the state changed the formula. Hidalgo County performed almost flawlessly. We got to about 98.5% expenditure rate. So the state said we're not going to give out UB money. And it puts us in a lurch for this year to the tune of about $1 million. And I wanted to describe it for you graphically. So I'll go ahead and you turn your attention to the presentation. If you notice, the contract amount for this year is $3.885 million. That is the whole amount that we get for utility assistance in Hidalgo County under this contract starting January 1st through December 31st of 2016. If we take out the program services money and the administration money, that leaves us direct services money of about $3.4 million. That's money that we can actually assist people in the community with. As we move forward through that, out of the direct services, I'm very proud to say that between January the 25th and today, we've already spent and obligated about $1.22 million. Our agency is very good at what we do in terms of assisting clients. We've changed the model to assist clients from the very minute that they walk in. If they qualify, we provide assistance. Last year at this time, I think we had spent less than $100,000 when I went over as the director. This year, we've already spent and obligated over $1.2 million. So we're able to get money out the door. The obligated portion of these dollars are dollars that are going to be assisting people from the month of April all the way through December, through the hot summer months as well. Okay? So that's spent and obligated. So that leaves us about $2.1 million available. Out of that $2.1 million, we've already worked with the adult daycares. We're out in the community from Mercedes all the way to Sullivan City, all the way through Edinburgh, all the way through Hidalgo along the southern part of the county. We're visiting with adult daycares. We've already pre-screened 600 applicants that qualify for our program, and we figure that's about $322,000 that's really, in all intents and purposes, obligated. So that leaves us about $1.8 million. As we move forward, there's another group of folks in the adult daycare that are part of the vulnerable population that we serve, that we haven't pre-screened, but we know they're out there. We know that they have applications, and they're asking for our assistance. That's to the tune of about $241,000, so that leaves us about $1.6 million to finish out the year. That's the reason, Commissioners, that I'm here today, and that's the reason that I went to the Advisory Council is it's very early in the year, and I certainly wanted to make the Commission aware and make the Advisory Committee aware that we have a very good potential for running short this year, but we're going to try to manage that all the way to the end of the year. That $1.6 million, in my estimation, really constitutes about 3,000 applications, about 3,010 applications that we would need to process to be able to reach full expenditure, to reach the 0 point that we want to be at. What does that mean, 3,010 applications? If we look at, we have about 102 days left before October 1st. October 1st is the day that that we pretty much slow down in the program. Historically, we know that our expenditure level almost drops to zero after October 1st. That leaves us about 102 days, or if we work really hard, it'll be 29 applications per day, plus the number of applications that we're seeing in the adult daycares. That number is significant, and I'll come back to that 29 applications per day in just a minute. One thing I wanted to do is I wanted you all to see what that compares to last year, just so that you could get a good look at what's available last year. In 2015, last year, we served about 8,650 households. Our contract amount, we started off with about $3.9 million. They gave us a UB, an unexpended balance. That was that kind of Christmas gift that we're not getting this year of $967,000. We were able to spend about $4.9 million last year. How does that compare to this year? This year, we're anticipating serving about 6,332 households, and our contract amount is about $3.8 million, and there's not going to be that unexpended balance. So the difference is about $1 million short. There's about 1,974 households that we won't be able to serve this year just because we have about $1 million less this year. And I wanted to certainly make the community aware, make you all as commissioners aware that this is a very real possibility and something that we're having to deal with. And that's the reason for me being here today, commissioners. I will tell you that we do have a plan. The advisory board made a recommendation, and their recommendation is listed in the agenda today, and that is currently we're serving people in a 3-4 payment model, where if they're a vulnerable population, we're allowed to assist them with 4 payments. If they're non-vulnerable, we can help them with 3. The advisory board recommended that we go with a 2-3 service delivery model, that we accept only household crisis component applications. Those are folks that are just hurting, and only take those applications on Fridays. The third would be that we would cease pre-screening applications for large groups. And the last thing is that we would limit utility assistance applications to 20 per day. Okay, so that's every morning that I open the doors to our agency at about 7:30 in the morning, there's about 20 to 30 people in line. So in essence, that would say limiting to the first 20 people that come in every day. Now, because during the past couple of days I spent a lot of time with my supervisors and planning this out, I was able to look at a little bit of a different recommendation, and that is what I've listed in the PowerPoint and what's listed in front of you, and that is 3 recommendations. Number 1 is that on Fridays we only accept household crisis applications, that we cease the pre-screening of the large groups, and that we limit our applications every day to only 25 applications on a daily basis. Those are the 3 recommendations I think that would get us to where we need to get and to serve the number of clients that we need to serve and to get us to full expenditure. So I'm here today to ask your approval on those recommendations or to entertain any questions.
Move for approval.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners. Item number 11B, requesting approval of the program year 2015 Community Services Block Grant Program contract amendment. Contract number 611-6000, that's 40-2386, with authority to designate myself, Jaime Longoria, Executive Director of CSA, to electronically sign the contract. I will say that there is a typo here, and that's program year 2016. And I would ask also, Judge and Commissioners, that we do this subject to legal approval and legal review.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Jaime.
Thank you, sir. Item 12, Urban County.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. Good morning. Our first item on the agenda is on behalf of Precinct 2, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, when and if applicable, Urban County, on behalf of Precinct 2, is requesting authority to purchase fire station equipment, which is a small brush truck, for the City of Hidalgo Fire Department. Purchase will be made from Neal Fire Protection Apparatus, contract number 491-15, and approved vendor through Hidalgo County's membership and participation with Buy Board. The total amount of the purchase, including delivery, is $90,761. The city of Hidalgo will be contributing $1,964.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. I know
Well-
we had a question on elections, and I don't see anybody here from that department. Is there anybody here representing elections?
Yeah.
Okay, no, we'll get to you. I would, if there were nobody had been here, I was gonna ask that we call somebody here. Is Ms. Ramon in her office?
She's in her office.
This has to do with the consolidation of the precincts. There's going to be a question on it. I don't know if you could talk to her. Maybe she can come over and
Is it in this item?
The next item.
in the next item. But we still have about another 5 to 10 minutes here.
I'm going to have to take my time then.
Tell her to
I don't
run.
normally take 5 minutes, Judge.
Oh, no, take a little break.
We're requesting no action on item B. Item B.
All right.
Well, that
So-
goes quick.
So going on to item C, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, when and if applicable, Urban County Program on behalf of the City of Mercedes is requesting authority to purchase picnic tables for Saladino and Goza Parks. Purchase will be made from Park Place Recreation Designs, an approved vendor under the buy board. The total amount of the purchase, including shipping, is $2,880, utilizing Urban County funds and a portion from the City of Mercedes.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D is on behalf of the City of La Villa, requesting approval of Amendment Number 1 to a professional engineering services contract with Dannenbaum Engineering, McAllen LLC. The amendment will increase the professional service contract amount from $57,500 to $62,458 for a total increase of $4,958.66.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Okay. I'd like to take item F before E, Judge, if I may. F is the approval of a resolution authorizing the Hidalgo County Urban County Program to submit a proposal for a self-help center application to the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs Office of the Colonia Initiative in the amount not to exceed $1 million, and authorizing the county judge to act as the county's authorized signatory in all matters pertaining to the county's participation in the Texas Community Development Block Grant Program for the 2016.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Getting back to item E is approval of a resolution for designation and authorizing the bonded signatories for the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs, TDHCA, Office of Colonia Initiative for the 2016 Self-Help Center.
Move for approval.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Our final item is on behalf of the City of La Jolla, requesting authority to purchase portable radios, radio programming, control devices, and an antenna through Hidalgo County's membership and participation with the Houston-Galveston Area Council. Approved vendor, the Cambridge Group, HDAC contract number RA05-15 in the amount of $19,515.12.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Ned. Yeah.
This time we'll move on to item 15. We'll come back to elections. Our planning department.
Did she get a hold of her? Another question.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. TJ Arredondo for the record. First item is discussion and action to authorize Mr. Valdeguerra, County Executive Officer, to sign the certification of tabulation of utility adjustments for FM 681.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Next item is final approval for Alejandra Gonzalez subdivision, Precinct 1. It's a two-lot subdivision on Baseline Road in Mile 12 North. We're recommending approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
You know, the 45 poll locations are set by the Democrats, and the Republicans accepted, so we're going to go there, and that's why I wanted to prepare everything and present it when it was already on timeline. We are adding this.
But she can't come. It's too close.
May I see the guy?
And I'm taking that to court for approval. We want to add them in now.
Yvonne, Yvonne, can you make time and just be here? We want to make sure we understand what's going on. There have been too many phone calls, okay? I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
I think there's a second. First and second, Judge.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Precinct 2, 1, 2.
Judge, Commissioners, item 16A, Precinct 2, we're appropriating funds to various road and bridge accounts. So we need approval of 2016 appropriation of funds from the Road and Bridge Unreserved Fund.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 18, budget.
Morning, Judge Commissioner. Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget Management. Item 18A, a discussion, consideration, acceptance, and approval of advanced funding agreement, amendment number 1, between Hidalgo County and the Texas Department of Transportation for the 10th Street Extension Road Project, which is from State Highway 107 to FM 1925, with authority for the county just to sign the
Those in
documents.
favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 18B1, we're going to take no action. We'll bring that back item next week.
All right. Sir.
Item 18B2 is approval to undesignate the amount of $4 million in fiscal year 2016 for the expenditures related to the new courthouse. These are the designated funds made by Commissioner's Court.
Yes.
We're just requesting to undesignate those.
Need a second?
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B2B is approval of 2016 appropriation of funds in the amount of $4 million. These are to fund anticipated courthouse expenditures.
Move for approval.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 18C1 is approval of 2016 interfund transfer from Elections Warehouse Projects, Fund 1301, to the Elections Department and General Fund in the amount of $11,569.39.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Thank you, sir. Item 19, purchasing.
Yes, sir. 19A1, Martha Salazar for the Purchasing Department. Approval of the interlocal agreement between Hidalgo County and the Brazos Valley Council of Governments. This is just give us another resource for buying off co-ops. Judge.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Going on to item B, this is recommendation and action by the Commissioner's Court to exercise a 30-day written notice of termination pursuant to page 4 of 8, item 14 of the contract with All World Language Consultants for the sign language interpreting services. He has not been able to provide us any interpreters, so we're requesting that we send notice. We are probably going to turn around and seek sealed quotes because I do not believe we're expending more than $50,000 a year so that we don't waste our time going out on new bids. So I need action.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 2 is acceptance of a rebate check from Office Depot in the amount of $221.47.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3 is authority to publish an advertising to solicit the establishment of a pre-qualified pool for providers using the previously approved procurement packet for the selection engagement including the selection and engagement protocols established by the court on an as-needed basis, and this is for review appraisal services. We have none right now, and we need this service.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
No action on C1 at this time. Item D1, Precinct 1, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4, a professional service.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
This is presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioner's Court of the firms graded and evaluated through the county's approved pool of professional engineering services providers. For the two projects that you see here, it's street and drainage improvements for mile 14.5 north, mile 6 west to mile 4 west, and mile 11 north from 1015 to mile 1 west. The three providers nominated were Aranda and Associates at 93, Quintanilla Headley and Associates at 89, and Rio Engineering at 86. Does the Corps wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Authority for Purchasing Department to negotiate a professional contract with the number one, commencing with the number one ranked firm of Aranda and Associates for those two projects that were named earlier.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Going on to item 2, approval of work authorization 1 in connection with contract with Lefevre Engineering and Management Consulting in the amount of $218,505 for the provision of professional engineering services for Gooley Road, Street, and drainage improvements.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
3 is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements, 262-024A4, a professional service.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking. Those three firms would be considered for services on Precinct 1 Nittler Road, Highway 88 to FM 493, and Mile 9 North, FM 491 to Mile 3 East. Those were Tedzi at 100, R.E. Garcia and Associates at 89, Rio Delta at 87. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 3 is requesting authority for purchasing to commence negotiations with the number one ranked firm of Tedzi.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
E1 Precinct 2 requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements, 262-024A4, a professional service.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking for geotechnical and construction materials testing services required in Precinct 1 on an as-needed basis. LNG at 98, Millennium at 96, Terracon at 94. Does the court wish to rank them in the order?
Precinct 2.
Precinct 2.
Precinct 2. Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Authority for purchasing to commence negotiations with the number one ranked firm of LNG.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 2 is approval of a clarification to LNG Consulting Engineers Incorporated contract and work authorization 1 to correct the project name from Precinct 2 Boys and Girls Club Facility Project to Precinct 2 Community Resource Center Youth Facility Project.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item E2B, we're talking about the contract with LNG Engineering, Article 14, a request by the engineer to permit the subcontracting of MAS Engineering LLC in connection with work authorization 1 for the CRC Youth Facility Project.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
E3A, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements, 262-024A4, a professional service.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Presentation of scoring grid for the purposes of ranking from the pool of engineers for an on-call services agreement. The three engineering firms were Hinojosa Engineering 97, Javier Hinojosa 95, LNG 98. Does the court wish to rank them in their order of their scores?
Move for approval.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Authority for the purchasing department to negotiate a professional services agreement commencing with the number one ranked firm of LNG.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, Precinct 4. 1 is requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under 262-024A6, land.
Move for approval.
Second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
B is requesting approval of a lease agreement with LPJ Family Limited Partnership for the purposes of a citizen collection station in the San Manuel area in Precinct 4. And compliance with 1295, I believe, has been met, but if not, it is applicable, and we will have the vendor submit.
Move for approval.
Second. Who is the LPJ family? Do you know?
The Flores family.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 2 is recommendation by project engineer Lefevre Engineering and Management Consulting to award the base bid to the responsible vendor submitting the lowest and best bid meeting all specifications, Gomez Paving LLC, DBA South Texas Paving of Mission, Texas, in the total amount of $150,900 for the Precinct 4 project construction of parking lot at San Carlos CRC and Sunflower Park.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And B is pursuant to Texas Local Government Code 262-031 in the interest of expediting the project's progress, requesting authority and approval of Precinct 4 Commissioner and the designee Jesus Jesse Osuna to execute change orders that involve an increase or decrease in the cost of $50,000 or less, and in no event to exceed the change order's statutory limits. The original contract price may not be decreased by 18% or more without the consent of the contractor.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
F3 for Precinct 4, requesting authority to advertise with approval of the request for bid plans and specifications developed by Mr. Raul Cecin, P.E. for mile 17 and a half road paving and drainage improvements.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
G1 for IT, acceptance and approval of an amendment to the amended and restated implementation plan, Phase 1 and 2, between Tyler Technologies Incorporated and Hidalgo County to reallocate implementation hours.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
On H1, I don't know if Mr. Hinojosa, there he is, Mr. Olivares. We're taking no action on it, but he does want to give you a status report on this situation.
Judge, Commissioners, just very quickly, as you know, we've had a situation with a tuberculosis pulmonary clinic. The state physician that was there retired and left us high and dry pretty much, like no notice. So we've been having to cover physician components for that. Dr. Melendez, who is on leave, which I came before court and announced that he'll be returning in a couple of weeks. So we've had another physician under Dr. Melendez's authority to help cover that. But really, we are needing a lot more assistance in that area. This is pretty much almost a full-time position. So we asked Dr. Candanosa to assist us on a temporary basis and follow through with these procedures. However, there was a conflict in his contract dealing with the non-competition clause, so we had to withdraw that name. So that's why there's no action being taken today. But there will be something brought forward in the weeks to come that we really need assistance in that area. So please do not take no action as means that we don't need it. We desperately need it. We just need to get a physician who's qualified to deal with this.
Well, I believe that he was qualified. He just has some contractual obligations with his physicians group that precluded him from doing this at this time. Going to I-1, District Clerk requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements, 262-024A7A proprietary software in connection with online research services.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Requesting approval of agreements, if applicable, for online research services with LexisNexis, including but not limited to the District Clerk's office.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item J1, this is requesting authority to purchase virtualization hardware and software equipment for the Sheriff's Office in the amount of $137,574.45 through our membership participation with the DIR Department of Information Resources Contract SDD 1951, requisition number 294664, and a purchase order will be subject to the 1295. I think it's already attached, if I'm not mistaken, from the vendor.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 20, our executive office.
Thank you, Judge Commissioners.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on, brother.
We're going to go back to, elections, yes.
Ms. Ramon is here.
13A, Judge, I believe.
15.
Or 50?
I forget.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Yvonne Ramon, Elections Administrator. What Julia is passing out.
13A, go ahead.
I'm sorry? It's 2 pages, Julia. I'm sorry, I made copies in a hurry. What Julia is passing out are the 45 recommended sites given to us by the Democratic Party. The Executive Committee reviewed our recommendation of 50 sites, and they reduced the amount to 45. By contract, the Democratic and Republican parties are responsible to choose the polling locations for Election Day, for the primary and for the runoff. We recommend, just like we do with this court, for early voting. And that's what we did. We recommended 50 sites, and then we met with Mr. Godinez because the Republican Party is going to share whatever polling locations the Democratic Party chooses, and they came with a recommendation of 45 out of the 50 that we had recommended. And they also, by contract, are responsible to fill these polling locations with judges, alternate judges, and workers. And they are having a difficult time, as everyone has read in the news. And so we always step in and we take over the process to help make sure that all polling locations are filled with sufficient workers. And that's what we're in the process of doing.
The bottom line here is the judges only get paid $8 an hour, right?
Well, for early voting, this county has approved to pay the judges $12 and the clerks $10. But and for Democrats and Republicans, on Election Day, the state reimburses the parties $8.
Okay, so that's why we're having problems getting judges or what?
We never have before, Commissioner Flores. This is a process that is always done.
But why are you taking it away from Alton? I mean, Alton, from what I understand, Mayor Orvela called this morning, wanted to know why it was being moved to Salinas Elementary.
And again, this is a choice made by the Democratic Party, and they looked at the stats, just like we looked at the stats, and all the precincts, like always, are consolidated. So that the polling locations, then there are 5 races for Democrats and 4 for Republicans. And it's like I stated, even the runoff days, the state requires us to run for early voting 2 weeks. But for a runoff, it's 5 days. We don't even go through a weekend.
And the reason we made you come is because there were mayors out there that thought it was Ramon, not Mrs. Ramon.
So they're blaming you, Judge.
Blamed for all this.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
This morning told me it was Judge Ramon Garcia, so then I find out it was Mrs.
Me. Just know, sir, that I always get blamed. But in this, it is a process that is always done. The locations are always reduced. The days are always reduced. The races are very few. And this is just the way it's done. That the parties have a difficult time filling the locations, yes, they do. And that we assist them and we collaborate together always. So this isn't today.
How many polling locations on Election Day did we have open for the primary?
75.
And how many are we going to have for the runoff?
45.
So that's 30.
And that is a process based on how many races are on the ballot. That's always the way that it's done. We've had more. We've had more in previous elections because we've had more races. But this is nothing out of the ordinary. This is always the way that it's done. Just like we recommend. Now, what we did do, though, Judge, is because of the reduction, we went ahead and kept all 25 early voting sites. We didn't reduce any. So the county will continue with all the same sites. And in fact, I am bringing to court, which is when I was going to present everything, the addition of STC as a permanent early voting site.
So this is only going to be for the election?
Only for the day, yes, sir.
Could you still move it from Salinas to Alton or no?
If the Democrats would agree to that, because again, this is by contract, their decision.
No, I understand, but I mean, how many votes difference between those?
I don't have that in front of me, but it's something I could certainly check. From Salinas Elementary to
City of Alton or whatever it was before.
Okay, we can check and we can certainly, as long as the numbers are not changed,
I know what you
the name could be changed and the position could be changed. We're still, I think, and I would have to talk to my IT supervisor because as I said, the federal ballot and the overseas ballot has to be ready to go by Friday. And so we're already way deep into the process, but I will certainly check the numbers. And if need be, then talk to Mr. Godinez and see if this would be acceptable with the executive committee, because this is their choice. This commissioner's court approves early voting sites.
Benitez is going to be there. Salinas Elementary. That's where all the regions see that. I guess that's Homeview, that's part of Alton.
Do you have the original, well, the one that lists the sites that were used in primary voting day?
I didn't bring that with me, but of course, it's on our website, and I can certainly get that to you, and we can discuss this afterwards. As I said, we had recommended 50, and they went ahead and recommended 45, and they consolidated the locations and everything.
So if anybody were to be trying to assess blame, if for lack of a better term, it's not certainly not me, and it's not you. It goes all the way back to the Democratic Party.
To their executive committee, yes, sir. By contract, they selected the sites.
All right.
And by law. But many times we are, and we still do, we try to be involved and collaborate, and if they had said 75, we would have gotten 75, but then they would have had to fill 75 poll locations with workers. And as you may read in the Monitor today, they secured 40 judges and 45 clerks. And we need somewhere over 300 clerks. So, we would have needed 75 judges and 75 alternate judges. And we are receiving 45 clerks and 40 judges named that agreed to work. So.
Yeah, and the only reason I'm asking is because, just call, and I'm not saying for you to move it, but look into it.
We will look at it, yes, sir, definitely.
And we still have time. We have to approve these locations.
Not the election day, no, sir.
No.
No, sir. And since early voting, the only thing I'm bringing to court is we're keeping the 25, but we would like to add STC as a permanent early voting site. So I will be bringing that to court at the next court meeting.
So this you have till Friday, but then that's it.
Actually, the meeting was last week. We had to start coding and securing that federal overseas military ballot and the citizens overseas ballot. We're in the process right now of getting it printed, getting the sorted and sent out. And once, once it's coded. And our meeting was last week, and it was affirmed by the Democratic Party that these were the locations, as they are the ones that approve and select.
Let me give you a phone number. 802-5028. That's Mayor Salvador Vela.
Okay, sir.
Call him and explain to him what's going on.
Yes, sir. I'll be sure to say it wasn't you.
Ramon, not
And I know.
And
I'm very sorry.
The Democratic Party.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. We move back to item number 20.
Judge, item 28, we're going to pass on until later on the agenda. Item 20B, discussion and appropriate action regarding the open forum agenda item placement order and related policies and procedures as applicable. Judge, Commissioners, I've had discussions with the board, and this was an issue that was decided to be put on the agenda. This has been, over the years, we've had it at the beginning, at the end, we've gone back and forth. And so I'm asking the court to have to consider the placement order with respect to the open forum be placed towards the end of the agenda.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 20C is recognition by Hidalgo County Commissioners Court of property with improvements located in Precinct 3 through final judgment and warranty deed as a county-owned asset with detailed judgment deed, legal description, and assessed value by Hidalgo County Appraisal District through noted supporting documentation. Just very quickly, Judge Commissioners, this was awarded to the County of Hidalgo through the court system, and so I'm asking the court to recognize the award as this is a county asset as of whenever the order was signed by our district judge, a district judge.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Valde, which is this property, the one on 5 Mile Line?
Yes, which we've come to know as El
Paraíso, yeah.
Yes, sir. And Commissioner, we have been working with your office with respect to the contents and the value of the structures for insurance purposes. Item D, facilities manager, acceptance of a rebate check from Home Depot in the amount of $919.59 for the period of January 1st, 2015 through 12/31/2015.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item E is requesting authority for the county judge to sign the request for inspection form from the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation, their compliance division, architectural barriers for the following buildings: our courthouse annex expansion, the modulars, our courthouse annex additions modulars, and county precinct 1 constable office.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries.
Item F, I'm asking approval of credit application agreement with Site One Landscape Supply in order to purchase plumbing supplies for county buildings and authorize myself, county's executive officer, to sign the documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, I apologize. Is there a concern? Judge Commissioners, I'm going to ask for the action to be amended that it includes subject to the legal review and
Which is that one?
20F, subject to legal review.
20F, sub.
Just rescind your action or what?
We need to rescind and then vote on it, or how do you want to do it?
No, just to amend the motion and to.
Well, no, all we add is just.
Subject to legal.
Let Steve take care of it.
You already voted on it, so you'd have to rescind.
Okay.
I rescind my motion and he rescinds his second.
So,
That's it.
all in favor, rescinding? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so if we could take action with respect to legal review.
Action on 20F.
Legal review and also
Subject to.
subject to legal review and assigning me or recognizing me as the personal guarantee with the social security number, because that's what's required on the application itself.
Is that what you all require?
No,
Is that
that's
correct?
the application.
Yeah, okay,
It's the
no problem.
application.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Motion carries.
20G is a request for the use of the courthouse open forum grounds for the National Day of Prayer to be held on May 5th, 2016 from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Everything in order?
Everything is in order, and this is an annual event.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion
Hi.
carries.
I'm Mrs. Esparza. I'm Adrian
yes,
Esparza's
with the
wife
National Day
with the
of Prayer.
National Day of Prayer. Just wanted to express, Commissioners, good morning. To thank you for the event. This is our 19th year, and we've collaborated with the U.S. Border Patrol and One Church Network, and so we're having a better crowd come out, and there's more participation in our community. So just a word of thanks, and hope to see you there. Personal invitation to meet us there at the courthouse. Thank you.
Thank you. H, Judge. H.
So moving on to item H, requesting permission from Paragon Promotions to host their 4th annual car show fundraiser event at the courthouse parking lot, April 17th, 2016, from 2 to 8 p.m. The event will be, the proceeds will be donated to the Arguing Families and Friends of Murdered Children, Inc. to help crime victims.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item I is rule of process of following invoice as a claim with authority for the county treasurer to issue a check after auditing procedures are completed by our county auditor's office. Morrison Healthcare invoice dated February 29, 2016, in the amount of $210.93. And for the record, it is invoice number S19654000513.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Judge Commissioners, for open forum, we have 7 presenters. We have Ms. Maria Sandoval.
Maria Sandoval left because it's too long for me.
Our second is Ms. Marta Sanchez.
Somebody said no.
Yeah.
So what was it? Some guy? Huh?
We proceed. So we continue? Yeah. My name is Marta Sanchez, and I'm here from La Unión del Pueblo Entero. And well, we're very upset that you have moved with no discussion the public forum to the end. Because if you want to kill participation from the community, you did it. So the only way that we can continue to participate is if we are going to be waiting until the end of the meeting, that we ask in the court to approve translation for the Spanish-speaking people. Because the reason that we people do not stay here, because a lot of the people do not understand Spanish, so we don't understand English, so we have to, they can't stay here 3 hours without understanding everything. So if you are going to continue to have it at the end, the public forum at the end of the meeting, then we're going to request that you provide translation for the people who stayed the whole meeting. Because this is very unfair for people who, you're the only government that the people in the colonias can come and participate with discussions, questions, and concerns. They don't have cities to go to.
Just a minute. What was that, Chris?
Everything's all right, sir. The little incident in the elevator, the couple that were coming down from the 4th floor.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, man.
So anyway, so this is what I'm here. Just hope that you reconsider moving the forum to the beginning, and if you don't, you're going to hear us here all the time asking for translation for the people who need to stay. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next presenter is Mr. Frank Trapper.
Hello, Judge and Commissioners. It's been some time since I've spoken with you. I was reminded when I saw the agenda of an occurrence of almost 4 years ago, to almost the same time of the year. At that time, 4 years back, you had moved the open agenda to the last, just as it has been done today. I opened that speech by reading an article that had been published at that time in the Advance News. It was a short half column, took me about 60 seconds, but it could be interpreted as a scathing attack on the Commissioner's Court at that time for making that move, and deemed that it was putting a lack of significance on it as far as the public was concerned. After saying it, I thought that the article was so critical of the commissioners and thought they were trying to shut the public out. I pointed out that I was fairly familiar with each commissioner and didn't think there was a single one of you, any of you, that wanted to shut the public out. I didn't think that then, and I don't think that today. That doesn't mean that I don't think that putting the agenda at the end of the agenda for open court is a good idea. I can't help but feel that public participation is important, but this minimizes it by putting to the end. Just as we look now, there's almost an empty room by the end of the meetings. And it's tacked on, and it appears to be insignificant. There's one thing which I think is different today, from my own point of view today, than was then. I really can't help but have a tendency to want to almost feel like such an action is almost a personal slap in the face to me. I've always tried to be polite with your commissioners, and I know you've given me credit for that. In fact, I remember at the end of that same meeting, I think it was 4 years ago, I had been appointed to a board of directors of a separate commission here. And the judge at the conclusion told me that perhaps that my now being really a part of county government would make me a little more recognition and move my line of thinking more in line with the commissioners. And I advised him, speaking as friends, and I advised him back that while being appointed to the board, I had a problem of conflict of interest that I had not expected that occurred. That I sincerely hoped I wouldn't have to be resigning from the Owls because of that. Now, we laughed then, and I hope you can laugh now. I feel very strongly that moving it to the end does indicate a significance of the importance of the public participation. I know you people don't want that, but we all know by experience that once you reach this part of the agenda, you're quickly going to go to closed session, after which, on the average, it takes about 30 seconds to dismiss the meetings and everything can go home. So by this time, those who were here because they had a specific interest is gone. My 3 minutes is up, and I appreciate it. I hope you'll reconsider and perhaps reverse that action which you took today. A lot of us feel very, very personally that you should give that reconsideration. Thank you very much.
Before you call somebody else about that, let me say that the purpose of that section of open forum is for the community, for the public to communicate with the elected officials. We're here. We're just doing it at the end, not at the beginning. But the whole purpose is that communication that should exist between the public and the elected officials.
I appreciate some of those thoughts. We can't debate here, but I would discuss privately with you if you would choose.
All right.
I have a very firm opinion, and I'll have a hard time changing it.
I'll be here when we'll talk after the meeting is over, if you'd like.
Most of the public is gone. They're not listening to you.
Well,
they can't hear you right now.
But the purpose is for us to hear you, and we're here.
Good. Did you hear me?
It's not for you to communicate with the public. It's for you to communicate with the elected officials.
I thought it was for them to hear you. When you spoke and moved it to the end, they're not here to hear what you said.
But they've been here to hear us throughout the meeting. We've taken action on about 23 or 24 different items. And we've done it in a public meeting where they have heard everything that we have said.
Judge, we were only discussing one item.
Okay, our next presenter is who, by the...
Virginia Townsend.
She's not available at the moment.
It's from McClarity.
Same with her.
It's Opal Billman.
Hello, my name is Opal Billman. Everybody read about investment broker Bernie Madoff. People gave him their money to invest, and he spent it on himself. Because I was sued for divorce, our community property was submitted to the court. The judge had one job, to divide our community property fairly between Joe and me. Instead, it was converted into a hedge fund using our community property, Billman Real Estate Ltd., and limited partnership Billman Enterprises LLC were established. A hedge fund is a group of investors, individuals who employ speculative techniques in the hopes of obtaining large capital gains by selling one corporation's assets through the second corporation. I've asked for years, who are these people? I'm told it's privileged information we can't tell you. A false deed with a long list of false additional reservations, regulations, and easements has been typed. The community property of Joe and me has not been legally divided, legally incorporated, legally probated, or legally sold. No one can sell property that they do not own. However, money has been borrowed and buildings have been constructed on our land. Banks are not naive business organizations. Make up your mind, move them or vacate them. They are on my land. The south side of North John H. Sherry, Lot 184, our land has been paved. The pavement goes only to apartments located on South John H. Sherry, Lot 184, which is not landlocked. Their street can be built on their own land, not ours. Trespassers are driving on our land to these apartments. The city is claiming a strip of our land as city infrastructure. Our land is to be held in abeyance until they build a street from Sherry Road to Glasscock Road on our land. That's not possible. Infrastructure is the original system of public works, and our private property is unavailable for public use. Thank you.
Thank you. Next presenter is Ms. Norma Saldana.
I feel like a school teacher. Good morning. Every week I bring a handout. Okay. Good morning, Commissioners and Judge. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Commissioner Palacios. I know he's not here due to the family death, and his staff on a letter that he wrote to me along with a map that I took to Chairman Lewis on our concerns on TxDOT Project 68. I come before you with two concerns. Last week, as you know, I went to the Capitol. I testified on that State 68 project, and what you have before you is a 4-year accounting on the Donna International Bridge. The first sheet is from 2015, and it has 4 years attached. It's 15, 14, 13, and 12. It has an estimated 25 million lost in the last 4 years, and this is where they want to start that toll road. This bridge cannot even sustain itself, and yet you want to take our home, our taxpayer money, or TxDOT does, I shouldn't say you all. But Commissioner Palacios was, I think, informed enough that he sent us a letter with maps indicating where he could better utilize those 86 million. They don't have funding for it's a 3-phase project. They don't even have funding for the next 2 phases. And again, after I show you this, or after you've seen this, the $25 million loss in the last 4 years, why would we take a toll road that not only is it going to take our homes, but I've also previously, last week, I provided you the 40-year study that indicated that 60% of the commercial Mexican trucks will ride free and 80% of the personal Mexican-plated vehicles will ride free on the taxpayers of Texas and Hidalgo County. I come before you also with the courthouse cost. While you reassure us that no taxes will be raised to pay this, what is your plan B on the cost? Can you 100% reassure us as citizens of Hidalgo County what you presented, or how you say it's going to be paid, is a no-fail, that we're not going to be taxed any higher? Also, when you say that it's 150 million if we don't do another floor, what about what goes into the courthouse? The desks, the chairs. I don't think we're going to take our old stuff with us. So we are asking also an accurate amount of what is it going to cost to build this courthouse, get it ready so that our judges are in there. When you go to the courthouse at any time after 12, it's a ghost town. Why can't we use those courts that are available in the afternoon and put judges in there? And also on Friday, there is no court, or there's nobody there. So as taxpayers of Hidalgo County, we're asking not only for transparency, but we need answers before any more money is spent. I know the gentleman just spoke that he had a $4 million, where you approved $4 million. It's actually going to be $4 million plus another $9 million, because I went to ask him before this thing even gets up on just an architects and all the fees as we try to figure out. Are my 3 minutes up, sir? Okay. Yes. Okay. Thank you. I saw 3 and I said, I think that's me. Thank you.
Judge, your next item would be closed session.
All right, pursuant to 551, 071, 072, and 074, I need a motion to proceed to executive session.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We will be in executive session. All right, we're back in open session. Mr. Guerra.
open session 24A, there's no action to be taken.
Mingo, this yours? What is that?
No action?
Right, there is no action on the real estate acquisition appropriation for sale.
That's for the judge.
24B, pending and potential, there is no action to be taken. 24C, under 24C, there's no action to be taken, but I do have an action item related to 24C. 24D, claim of David Villanueva, Judge Commissioner of the Settlement Authority, make an offer in the amount of $1,495.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
24E, claim of Cesar Manzanares, Judge Commissioners, I'd like Settlement Authority make an offer in the amount of $2,602.43.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 24F, Hidalgo County versus Joyce Weishand. Judge Commissioners, I'd like to assign this to the District Attorney's Office for subrogation and to file suit if necessary. Yes, sir.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
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 Aye, motion carries.
24G, we will proceed as directed on the claim of Annabelle Martinez and Juliana Martinez. 24H, claim of Manuel Saenz Jr. Judge Commissioners, I would like for the court to entertain a motion in settlement of this claim in the amount of $90,000.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And 24I, cause number J192-14-K in the matter of JMB A child. Judge Commissioners, I'd like for the court to entertain a motion to resolve this cause number in the total amount of $5,800 to be broken down, if there's positive court action, to be broken down. Francisco J. Garza, $4,000, and Thomas G. Whalen, $1,800.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
24J, there is no action to be taken under the potential litigation. And Judge Commissioners, I would like to refer back to item 20A. 20A, selection of Hidalgo County WIC Director. Judge Commissioners, I would like for the court to entertain the name of Clarissa Ramirez as our County WIC Director.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously.
Thank you. And Judge, I will have, for purposes of our next court session, we will formally introduce Ms. Ramirez as our WIC Director to the court and to the constituency of Hidalgo County.
That'll be when's the next?
We have court next week with respect to the action or the direction we were given last week on the courthouse project via the architects. I have not determined yet whether it's going to be on a Tuesday because we're still working with your schedules. It was a meeting that the court said to work with schedules and schedule accordingly with respect to the day of the week. Monica, Tuesday next week falls on the 12th. So if the court likes, we can set it for the 12th, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. I was still working with everybody's schedule.
Well, Tuesday is the only time, or Monday, that I can do it next week.
I'm out Monday, so Tuesday's fine with me, so, or whenever, but not Monday.
I'm fine with Tuesday.
You okay, Drew?
Yeah, my commissioner's available any day.
24/7.
I make my decision up within minutes. Zoom in. Where's the camera? Zoom in. Fix la dos domingo. De Frank quiere que le hable.
So, yeah, no, they wanted to have next week. So, Judge Commissioner, with that being said, then we will schedule a Tuesday meeting for the courthouse project with respect to the architects. We'll have Hannah. I'm sorry.
What time?
9:30. 9:30. We'll also have the agenda item introducing our WIC director, and there's a couple of cleanup items that we need to have on there. So we'll have a couple of other action items, but it will not be a full scheduled court action item meeting. Okay.
Muy bien, vale.
Yes, sir. Judge,
Need a
Commissioners.
motion to adjourn?
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are now adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Judges,